Good evening.
Good evening.
I got confused if it was afternoon or night or morning. Well, I knew it wasn't morning, but...
No, it's really evening.
It feels like it's midnight, though.
It feels like I can't... This changing of the time messes my head up.
And you know what we'll do when the time goes back to normal?
What?
We'll be like, I feel like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 9. Like, for 2 months, we talk about how, I can't believe how it's dark. It does this every year.
It just drives me crazy.
But I seriously go to bed at like 8.
8:01.
Good night, everyone. The princess must go lay down. I can't take it.
I'm tired. It's midnight. It's 8:01.
Mm-hmm. Did I wake you up when I called? Yes.
I was asleep. Okay, good night. Bye.
Kristie, it's 10 after 8. I know. It's hard. So, we went to the merriest party.
That was
Disney.
fun. That was fun.
Except, guess what?
What?
Speaking of being sleepy.
What happened?
I had to take off work for the day. And this is so funny because people at work were like asking me questions.
Uh-huh.
And saying like, what'd you do on your PTO day? And it's like,
right.
Well, I went to the Disneyest, merriest party. Like, and they were like,
what is
I
that?
thought that was after.
Yeah.
Like, the park closed. I was like, oh, it totally was, but I need a nap. Like, I can't stay awake that long.
You need energy.
Yeah, so I had to take a day off of work so I could take a nap.
But I was proud of you. You handled it.
I did it. I stayed up. I functioned. I had a good time. I rode some rides.
Mm-hmm.
Had a snack. Got rained on.
And was done.
And take me home, sir.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go home.
I'm ready to go home. But it was fun. Had a good time.
It was. Me too.
And then it's one of that. Then you know what you have to tell the people about because I posted a picture.
What are you talking about?
Shang-Chi.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying.
I know.
Don't act like you're Mr. I don't know what you're talking about.
I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say, I didn't know what you're talking about.
You definitely went.
I didn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I did not exaggerate it. What are you talking about?
Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
What'd you get Sunday, Jeffrey? Why did you make that face?
That. I just got a regular umbrella.
How'd you act in Epcot?
Like I had a regular umbrella.
That was the funniest thing ever.
Shang-Chi.
That's what happened. That's what happened the whole time. He would just be walking and then he would go, what?
Shang-Chi. That was it. I had my sword umbrella and I was a kid again.
I loved it.
I had fun. I said, oh, I like this.
That was fun.
I was walking with my back around my back. Adults were like commenting on the sword because they were kids too.
When we're going, because I want to take your picture with it, and the lady says, "Do you want me to take your all's picture?" It's like, no.
I mean, no, not at all.
This is actually just a picture of him.
I said, I know, only me.
And
and my sword.
It's him and his sword. So that was cute.
Yeah, for real.
And then you had your overnight rehearsal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We had that. So that went well.
You tired?
I'm so tired. I think I've gotten an hour and a half of sleep.
I mean, you look good.
So, well, I'm tired.
I've gotten a lot more than an hour and a half.
I can tell.
But I'm still tired. I'm ready to go to bed again.
I can tell that also. Some of us are not so lucky. Some of us have to go back to work.
I mean, some of us don't have 57 jobs.
Well, that's 58. You're always tripping.
I'm just saying.
Don't be shortchanging me.
No, I'm just saying. So, I mean, I'm a full-time student. I'm a full-time employee.
What do you got to do with jobs?
A full-time mom.
We really talked about jobs. And you.
School's a job.
Oh, here we go.
And full-time podcast producer. I'm every woman. Let the women do the work.
Okay.
Bada ba. That's
okay.
how it goes.
Bada
bing. Bada ba. I'm an idiot. They just kicked me out the mafia.
So, well, here we go. So today's subject, what we going to talk about today?
Well, what is tomorrow? Not tomorrow. What's the day after tomorrow? Man, I'd be in a world of hurt.
Christmas. No, Thanksgiving.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
That wasn't convincing. You might be convincing when you're more awake.
Yeah, I'm just tired, but yeah.
Are you excited? Uh-huh.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I'm not.
So, why?
I never am.
Okay. So, okay.
I never am. Well, let's do this part first. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Turkey, fried chicken.
You have fried chicken on turkey on Thanksgiving?
Let me finish.
I need to interject on that.
No, you don't need to.
I do.
Well, I'm going to continue on. Fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens, cakes, cookies, candies, and cakes. So, yeah. I love all the fixings.
You have fried chicken? You have 2 birds?
Yes. In a heartbeat.
I have never had 2 birds.
Well, okay. It's available.
We've done ham.
And ham too. But you know what, my ham got to be smoked. I don't too much care for other type of ham.
My mom used to make that had like brown sugar on it.
Yeah.
With pineapple stuck in it.
That's good.
I mean, I really only like that like the next day.
But the best kind, let me tell you, the best type of turkey, a turkey that's still alive and you bite into that sucker.
You're so stupid.
I'm just dumb.
You're so stupid. Look, I'm like leaning in, like I'm getting ready to learn
for real,
something.
Put some salt and pepper on that, girl. You got some fixings.
That's disgusting.
It may talk back, but you may.
I like turkey.
Yeah.
And mashed potatoes.
We got mashed potatoes too. Yeah.
No, like that's my favorite.
I'm like,
and then
I left out my mashed potatoes.
I asked you your favorite. I didn't ask for your menu.
Okay, we can pretend like that. Y'all didn't hear your rudeness.
My mom. She makes the best mashed potatoes.
No, my mom makes the best mashed potatoes. Being a
We're
total
just gonna
taller.
table it. We're just gonna table
being a
it.
total taller right now. I just want to say that because I just want to say it.
Well, Nancy, you know where he's at.
Eula.
Sick him.
You know where she at. I'm not going to say sick him to my mama.
I will to mine. And she'd be like, Kristie, stop. No. Quit. Of course, mine are the best mashed potatoes to you, and hers are the best mashed potatoes to him. And I bet they're real good. That's what my mom would say.
My mother would say, I ain't no dog, don't sick nothing. Don't have me break my face up, foot off on you. Yes, ma'am.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? What's your favorite holiday dessert?
I'm not locked in that way because I just love desserts. So.
Like, on holidays?
No. I'll say I love candy corn, but that's Halloween.
That's Halloween. On holidays?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I saw? They have harvest candy corn.
Yeah.
So you can have it for Thanksgiving, too. I don't think there's Christmas candy corn.
I'll make some.
Maybe there is. If I find it, I'll get it for you.
Probably some food coloring.
I hate candy corn, but if I get it for you if you want it.
That's okay.
I'm a good friend.
That's okay. I love candy corn, though.
The only thing I ever did with candy corn was stick it on these 2 teeth and pretend I was a vampire.
I don't know what's wrong.
Listen, I think everybody has done that.
I haven't.
I bet you have.
No, I remember. I have not. Sorry.
I think you have. I think you was a little kid running around with candy corn stuck on your eye.
No. Nope.
I do.
Nope.
But like on holidays, like holiday times, if I go to like a party, I'll pick up like a cookie, like on a napkin. But like at the event, like a family meal, there can be cookies for dessert and I don't touch them.
Oh, well.
But that's my go-to at other things. But like I'll eat brownie trifle and pumpkin pie and I don't eat pecan pie because I don't like it.
Right. That's okay.
But look, the listeners are going to shudder when I say this.
I'm already shuddering. And I don't know what you're going to say.
Guess what I do for Thanksgiving dinner?
What?
Order it from Publix.
Yeah, I just shuddered.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Too much for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's me and 3 kids.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to go through this laborious work for 3 days for one meal. When really, I could get 2 Little Caesars pizza.
But it's not even about the meal. You know.
That's what I'm saying. I could get 2 Little Caesars pizza.
Right.
But the kids like the turkey and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I did that last year. No, I think this will be the 3rd year I did it. Mm-hmm. Or maybe the 4th. Mm-hmm. Since I've lived in this house, I did not do it. Yeah, 4. It'll be the 4th one. Because I didn't do it the first 2 years, I don't think. And then I did it the last 4.
Right.
Or this will be the 4th.
Right.
But it's so... The turkey is a good size.
Yes.
And I don't have to worry about thawing it.
Right.
Because when you get it, it's like pre-cooked. You just... Well, you have to cook it, but like it's cooked. Like, but you got to heat it all the way through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it ain't a raw bird. So you ain't worried about jacking up the turkey. But then like...
You said jack up the turkey.
Yeah. But like I still will make my own mashed potatoes.
Okay.
But like it comes with like, I don't know, green bean casserole. I hate green bean casserole. I think it's disgusting. I hate it. But the kids like it. And
what's it called? Green bean casserole?
Yes. All it is a couple cans of green beans with cream and mushroom soup and then little French fried onions. Heartburn for days. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's disgusting. But I think... Oh, and cranberry sauce in a can.
Cranberry sauce in a can?
Yeah, I make homemade cranberry sauce. Uh-huh. But that you get like a can of cranberry sauce with it.
Right.
And then punch or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's something else. Oh, bread. Rolls come with it.
Gotcha.
I think that's all that comes in it. But I mean, it's a whole lot simpler. Especially when it's me.
Right.
Like.
Well, no, every family does what they do. Everybody, you know.
Well, and like Thanksgiving. And I think I can speak for a portion of the population at least. Mm-hmm. Is really hard for me. Mm-hmm. And I used to love it. Mm-hmm. But now I know too much.
You know too much? Yeah. About the turkey? I mean, what are you talking about?
No.
I know where the turkey came from.
No. So, I don't think I've told you this before. Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell it again because I haven't told them.
Okay, how about that?
There we go. So, back in the day, well, Sean died in June, as we have previously addressed.
Right.
The November before he died, we went to my parents' house in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I will say this. I had a picturesque childhood.
Right.
I grew up on a ton of land in a small town. My mom and dad have been married now for 50 years. Mm-hmm. I had the best parents. Mm-hmm. I was brought up in church and, you know, nothing is perfect, but I think that up until the age of 18, mm-hmm. my trauma level
was low.
I didn't even realize how bad some people... I didn't realize that there was something different, really.
Right.
But... And I mean, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, my parents' yard is beautiful. And Sean had been in the backyard. And mm-hmm. Sean grew up in Westminster, Maryland. Okay. And from what I understand, most of his life... Really, most of his life, he lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool to him to be like in the country, like not in a city, and be like in the country and have land. Yeah. Like that. So he was out in the yard playing football with my son and my nephew. Mm-hmm. And they went in and he turned around and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And he was crying. Mm-hmm. Sean never cried.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Like ever, like it was an issue. Mm-hmm. And so then I thought something was really bad wrong. And he said, this is all I ever wanted. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, you know, when I was growing up, my mom and dad would fight on Thanksgiving, and my mom would come out to the table and she would be all dressed up. And my dad would be in the computer, and they would in the other room on the computer. She'd be yelling at him to get off the computer and come in there for dinner and to put on clothes and dress up. And he would come out dressed like a bum and, you know, not dressed up, and said, I'm at home. We're just eating at home. I'm not dressing up for it. Then she would start crying because she was upset, and then they would start fighting, and she, you know, like it was a thing.
Right.
And he said, and he'd take his plate sometimes and just go sit in his room and shut the door. And he'd cry. And then he got to where he didn't care.
Right.
And he said, and here I am, and it is Thanksgiving. I'm in the country, and I see all of these beautiful leaves changing. And this is all I ever wanted growing up.
Right.
And he said, now my baby's going to get to have a family like this.
Right.
And, like, the cycle has stopped.
Yeah.
Like, it stopped. And he was so proud to, like, end that toxic cycle that was his life.
Right.
And the first Thanksgiving after he died, me and my friend Jacqueline, and I lived in Fredericksburg, obviously, still at the time. Me and my friend Jacqueline went to Wawa. And I had a Toyota Matrix, and it's a hatchback. And we sat in the back and listened to P. Diddy, Every Breath You Take. I'll Be Missing You, like that combo song. And I could not stop crying.
Right.
Like I couldn't get my breath. Because it was just so... Like I felt like my heart was cut out my chest.
Right.
And it wasn't just that Sean had died, which was a portion of it, of course. But I didn't know how bad people had how much pain they were holding in on holidays.
Right.
And how they felt like it was a reminder of something wrong or something of lack in their life. Instead of a time to be celebrated, it was a time to dread.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a thing to where now, and I think this is one of the reasons not to be Debbie Downer, but that I don't get into Thanksgiving. I literally have to put my mind in the right mindset and say, like, I'm going to be today's a day where I really want to be appreciative, make it fun for the kids, have some good food, have some good conversation, and call it a day. My expectations where people want to dress up, and I have zero expectations. It's whatever they want to do, let's do it.
Right.
But I'm so aware now that there's so many households, it's a holiday, which means people are going to be off. Yeah. And a lot of people are going to get drunk. And they might, like, slap their kids around when they get drunk. There's going to be people who've got unrealistic expectations that's not going to be met. Yeah. And they're going to feel sad. There's people that are grieving who's going to really miss people. You know, there's kids who might have food hidden underneath their bed because they don't want their stuff sold. You know, I mean, I did not realize how hard it could be for some kids. Yeah. And because of that thing where he said the cycle's broken, like it's not happening anymore. And he's right. It didn't. It's not that way. There's no arguments on my house on holidays.
You know, it's funny. As a teacher, that's when I realized how when you deal with students and you've dealt with students for so long, and then you come back from break and you say, okay, so what did you do for Thanksgiving? And then you start to hear the different stories. That's when I started realizing, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because how I grew up, it was just my mama and, you know, the boys, the 4 boys. So for me, Thanksgiving was always, my dad wasn't around, but it was just like, I was so used to my mom and the boys, you know what I'm saying, the brothers, that I don't know if it fazed me that much. We knew we were going to eat and eat well, you know, and we would go outside and play or ride our bicycles and so on and so forth, you know, and so it's just a continuation, you know, even into adulthoods, even until adulthood, keeping that tradition going back to mama's house, you know what I'm saying? And so it has always been there. Then, we have, then my brothers and I, we have our kid, you know what I'm saying? We go back to mama's house, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so we sort of keep that tradition going. So Thanksgiving was always beautiful for me because of that, But then again, going to teaching, there are some folks who have both their parents, and it's a beautiful time, or they got both their parents, they don't get along.
Right.
Or you have a parent that's passed on, or, there's different situations, but I will tell you this. But then you think about the ones who may be incarcerated and they have the meal, and even in prison, they find a way to be thankful. Mm-hmm. And so even if it's the worst of circumstances, you try to find a reason to be thankful. People, the old adage of someone always is worse off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That doesn't mean that you get to negate your emotions of how you feel, but at some point then you get to say, but I am thankful. You can say I'm thankful for my kids, I'm thankful for my home, I'm thankful, what I'm saying? There are things it may not be where you want it to be right now, but you're literally thankful for something. Mm-hmm. And then you have to realize it's only 24 hours.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's 24 hours.
Right.
And that's if you wake up at 12. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So,
you're going to sleep part of that 24 hours.
Yeah, so you still have, you still have a reason to be thankful. I can checklist things that, that I could be frustrated about or angry about or hurt about. And in the same breath, I can write down how many times I'm thankful.
Right. And I think that is something good to teach kids. But I mean, I'm sure as an educator, it was super hard, which you had high school.
Yeah.
I think at least they can, which they might not do it, but they are capable of being able to say, this is garbage. Bad things happen at home. Mm-hmm. I think about the little kids who come to school dirty and they're in third grade and they get made fun of.
Yeah.
And like that stuff, when you know that they're sitting at home, like that breaks my heart for them so much. And I just sit there and think not that Sean's parents were neglectful and kept him dirty. I don't mean that at all. Right. But what I'm saying is that it wasn't a good memory like mine. Mm-hmm. And it breaks my heart for the big people and little people who have bad memories associated with it. And that's something I choose, on Thanksgiving, although it's not my favorite day because now I feel like in a way it's tainted. It also, in the same breath, kind of like you said, I'm thankful that mine has always been so great.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, it's you don't have to settle. Because oftentimes when you sit there and say, be thankful, people say, well, I guess I should just be happy with what I have and not want more. No, not saying that at all. Of course you can want more. But don't negate what you're thankful for. Of course you can want more. And then so that's, and the whole thing about it is you don't know what someone is going through when they say they're thankful. Mm-hmm. You don't know, you have no idea. Or what the optics look like, how it looks. Oh, they look like they're so this. You have no, maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's you be thankful for what you have, and then, but you can also then say, but I also desire more.
Listen,
and you just focus on.
If that's not the truth, because I will say this, I've said this 150 times. I've said it on this podcast. I have said it at work. I have said it to my mom. I've said it to my kids. But I'm going to talk about you for a second. I literally, for so long, thought you were one way. Mm-hmm. And you are not who I thought you were. you came across to me one way.
Right.
And that's where I always am like, there's Dr. Redding. And then there's Jeff. Jeff was totally different to me than Dr. Redding. And when you said the thing about like, you think you know somebody, you think that they are this and you think that they are that, you had issues. You've had stress. You've had worry. You've had fear. You've had sickness. And you just seemed so fancy before in your fancy suits and your magic wand that you made music with.
Wow.
Remember when Jacoby said that?
I said, boy, that's not a magic wand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my baton.
He's like,
Sit down.
Why you got a magic wand? Why does he walk around with a magic wand? He's a wizard.
Well, the thing is just that for everything that what the perception is, whatever that was, is more so of, I lost my train of thought. It's more so, I have a lot to be thankful for. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you lost your train of thought. What I was saying was that how we look at people one way and think that we know it. And I was looking at you one way.
Right.
And then I got to know you, and you're a completely different person. And you have struggles just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I have struggles just like everybody else. Justin Bieber has struggles just like everybody else.
Well, the reason, and part of the reason for this podcast is also to, for that situation, you know what I'm saying? People see you dress up in a suit, or they see you on a stage, and they think they know you, and they really don't know you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, no, I'm no better than you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sorry. That, it's more so just, how can you grow and be a better person, or just be the best version of yourself, And so part of the reason for this podcast also is, when we're talking about Thanksgiving, is be thankful for where you are, thankful for where you've come from, and be happy where you're headed.
Yep.
And understand that through Thanksgiving is also saying that everybody ain't gonna clap for you. Everybody ain't gonna support you, and everyone is not gonna be happy for you, and it has to be okay.
And be thankful for that.
Exactly, because if you force feed yourself for someone trying to accept you that won't accept you, you will be wasting your life trying to, because they will see what they want to see. Instead of what's there.
I probably did that.
That's way too much work.
I honestly probably did that till I was like 35. You never had the blessing of knowing me then.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. I just had to do my math.
Oh, I did that. I did that to my daddy. I did that when I was coming up. I did that to my dad. Until I got older and started living life. I just sat back in judgment, like, You know what I'm saying? And didn't. But I was so young and so naive and so opinionated, and didn't know that I didn't know,
Right.
And life has a way of saying, now this is what it is. And now I see through different eyes. You see what I'm saying? Now I see through different eyes and say, oh, now it makes sense. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the revelation, I guess. The ability not to see past that. You see what I'm saying?
I totally thought you were getting ready to say Revelations, and that you was getting ready to go into a sermon. And I was like, Lord, this took a dark turn.
No, I was like, no.
Mercy.
No, it's not. I'm glad I realized a lot of things now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I wish I would have realized a lot of things back in the day. But oftentimes in life, you have to just live life. So on Thanksgiving, if you see someone who's homeless, and you may want to give them some money. Okay. But sometimes we withhold because we don't want to feed a habit.
What happened the other day when you said something brilliant the other day when we were leaving the mall. There was that lady.
In the wheelchair.
Yes. And
you gave her money.
Well, I rarely have cash.
Right.
I always use a check card.
Yeah.
But for what I found that cash actually in a coat pocket.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, but I gave her money because she had a sign that said "Homeless, please help," and it was like $4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I literally, first of all, Kristie, we need to put this like in layman's terms. Mm-hmm. I spend $6 on a cup of coffee at times, right? Like if I go to Starbucks.
Uh-huh.
But I'm torn over giving another human who's holding a sign up that says "Homeless, please help," $4. To give them $4.
Yeah.
Which is less than the cup of coffee.
Right.
So, Kristie, that's crazy. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But I said, I was like, well, I hope she ain't buying meth with it. Mm-hmm. You know, or hurting herself or something like that.
Right.
And what did you say?
I said something about it doesn't matter what she does with it. Literally, it matters what your intent was in giving it. You can't control, once you release it, you can't control what someone else does with it.
Right.
Well, the only thing that matters is that you gave it for the right reasons and you released it. That clears your heart. You cannot control what someone else does with it.
Right. And you were like, your heart's in the right place.
Yeah. Your heart's in the right place.
You feel like that's what you're supposed to do, then that's what you do.
And then you keep it moving.
Right. And I thought that was such a wise little lesson. Like, not just for giving money to the lady at the mall, but in a lot of stuff. Like, I think that we take on a whole lot of stuff of, like, other people's stuff. Yeah. And, like, it can happen at Thanksgiving. There's family and your third cousin twice removed is coming in and saying, oh, you still don't have someone. You're still alone. Or when are you going to get married? You know what I mean? Like how people do that.
Right.
Or when you gonna start having babies?
Yeah.
That's a big Thanksgiving one. And then you just can look at them and you can say very calmly,
what?
It's a PG podcast. Can't say what it really wants to say. But you can.
I'm looking at everybody podcast where I'm looking at what you're going to say also.
It's like, whoop.
I don't think it was going to be PG.
But, kindly remove yourself from my presence in a nice way.
Yeah.
And because your heart's in if you don't want to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, you don't owe it to anyone the explanation.
Yeah.
And you can say, and if they're like, oh, she was so rude, your heart's in the right place. You're protecting yourself. Go ahead, sis.
But the problem with that is that oftentimes people try to define your happiness based upon their expectation.
I do that too.
And it's like, no, those are your expectations for your life.
Right.
That's not for me. And you have to figure out what's for you.
Right.
And it's like our kids. We see our kids. We want this for our children. We try to set up the atmosphere so they can be the very best they can be. But at the end of the day, it's their decision on what they're going to be, not ours. Mm-hmm. Sorry. We can like it or dislike it. And I'm sure that we've gone through both.
Yeah.
But that being said, have I done all I can do? And if it's not, okay, what can I do?
I mean, sometimes you can.
And at the end of the day, sometimes you're right. You can do it, and it still doesn't.
And sometimes you might do all you can do and think you did the best job, and you actually did a terrible job. Like, we all just struggling.
I mean, listen, it's all about learning. Mm-hmm. It's, oftentimes you have to learn who you are before you can know who your children are. You know what I'm saying? Because what advice can you give them if you don't even know who you are yet?
Right. It shocked me today. I had a conversation with my son when I was driving into work. Mm-hmm. Because we ride into work together.
Right.
And he's 22 years old. And sometimes he does things that are so dumb. And it's like, you think that and I will do this. I have said this. Lord help me. When I was your age, I had a baby and was married. Mm-hmm. True. You know what I mean? Like, I did. I had you and I was married. And like, if this is what you're doing, I say it in a derogatory way, and I should not do that, and I have had to apologize for that. But, see, not a perfect parent. at all. But as we were talking, and I mean, the subject matter's moot, but he came out with like 4 things that was completely profound. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't even want to say non-judgmental, but it was non-judgmental, yes, but like, and in a hurtful situation, the compassion he had.
Yeah.
For everyone involved.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, I made that.
Yeah.
He might not do what I want him to do. And he might not, clean the dishes the way I want them done. Mm-hmm. But he's got compassion.
Yeah.
And so for that, I'll be thankful.
Yeah.
And, it's to be in a place where you can be so real. Like, I'm so grateful to be at a spot in my life. And if y'all ain't there, like,
it's okay.
Like, you get to a place where you can be you, whatever you is. Mm-hmm. And then, like, get people in your life where you can just be you.
Right.
And be who you are. One of the things... So I woke up this morning because I said to you when you went to your overnight shindig, send me pictures.
Right.
Because, Disney with nobody in it at night.
Right.
I want to see what it looks like.
Right.
And I want to see the big ball lit up.
Yeah.
And that was your first picture. If you did not follow instruction good, I was so grateful. I was like, thank you. Wow. I wanted to see that lit up ball. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
Yes, I love it.
They put lights on the big ball at Epcot.
Yeah.
If you know, what is it called?
Epcot?
No, the big ball.
I forget. The big golf ball.
Yeah, the big golf ball thing. Whatever that's called. Mm-hmm. But beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they did it for the 50th anniversary. Isn't it for the 50th anniversary?
Yeah.
They did it? But anyway, and then you sent me a selfie of you and Clay.
Right.
And can I tell you how much I just wanted to jump through that phone and just high five both of your all's faces and hug your necks? Because it was like, one, I was so happy that you have a friend who is passionate about what you're passionate about. And I know you have plenty of friends that are passionate about what you're passionate about.
Right.
But, like, to see it in one little photo.
Yeah.
In a moment. And, like, the happiness that's on both of your all's faces.
Yeah.
That you can celebrate this thing where I would be crying because I would want to be in bed.
Of course you would.
But, and then the beautiful picture of Epcot. And I thought, it's so nice. And for me, though, to have somebody that I can just say, I'm lazy and I'm tired. And you're like, yes, girl. Yes, you are. You go ahead. Mm-hmm. You be tired. You sleep. Like, right. You are my biggest hot person I've got. I can be like,
no, you got another one that's bigger than me.
Who?
Michelle.
Yeah, but it's a different way. Okay. Michelle, because...
she's the gangster hype.
Yeah, Michelle might hype me up too much.
For real. It's like Suicide Squad.
Y'all. Yeah. Like, if I pull a pistol out, you're going to be, put the gun away, Kristie. Mm-hmm. And Michelle would be like, listen... I got 2 hidden. Let's go.
Yeah.
We rise at dawn. Wear black. No, but like, you are, like, I can be like, I'm so hungry. And you'll be like, you just eat. You eat. Yeah, like, eat it, girl. You go get you some cookies. Yeah. Or, I'm going to go running. Yeah, I bet you're the fastest one out there. Like, you're such a good hot person.
Well, the thing about it is, you have to be self-motivated. And if you are putting an effort to be motivated, why can't I help you become motivated? Continue to be motivated. You see what I'm saying? We all have lulls where we don't feel like doing nothing. Mm-hmm. I get it. We all go through it. But then there's those moments where you say, okay, you can do this. Go ahead. I know you can do it. Go ahead. It's because oftentimes all of us just need that nudge. Mm-hmm. Words of affirmation, mm-hmm. And support. Go for it, And so it's not that the people who cheer do something so great. you end up believing in yourself, and then you say, okay, we are responding to what we've seen. You've done this before, get up and do it. Just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow fear to hold you back, because before you know it, you're 10 years old, it'll become 20 years old, 20, 30, 40. Before you know, you'll be 60 years old, and you'll never know what happened. Mm-hmm. And it goes like that. No, I'm not 60. But just saying, watch your mouth. So just saying, so be thankful for that also.
Well, I think that there's so many things that we've got in this time of Thanksgiving. Ooh, I sounded like a preacher. I think but seriously, there's so many things that we have. And, I want to say, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Second, thank you. You all are something that I'm thankful for. Being able to do this has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny?
What?
That how many times has there been where it's almost been like the devil is like, you ain't gonna get this podcast out. Uh-huh. Where everything has been stacked against us.
Yeah.
It happens over and over.
Yes. Literally
over and over. We can have the best of intentions, and then like I vomit, dead guinea pigs, guinea pig mortician come to save the day. That's you. Guinea pig mortician.
No, I'm actually not. But
the guinea pig corner. That's what you are. That's always going to be funny. There will be shirts made. But, so grateful for this season of our life.
Right.
That even though, I personally had a tough year. Mm-hmm. Like, there's been sickness. I had strep throat twice. I'm a toddler. You know what I mean? But had sickness. We've had scares with my health. There has been stuff with the kids, and then the transition with work and
stuff.
Just life stuff.
Yeah.
And then not to mention it's COVID year too.
Yeah.
On top of all of that. And then coming into a position with you with like OCS, figuring out like social media and learning all this new stuff while being in school. Yeah. And when you put a podcast together and you start this, there's still so many avenues that we have not touched yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And that we'll get to, but we can only, right now, it's like, let us get you an episode a day. There's going to be merch that will be hilarious. And there's a lot more structure coming up in 2022. Right. And we're finally getting our footing, and we're getting our footing because of you guys. And to see that we're going in such a forward direction, and has such a such a positive thing happening for us. Right. I'm so eternally grateful. Right. And I can't wait to see where it goes. So, and I'm thankful for you, sir.
Thank you.
Because if it wasn't for you saying yes, you wouldn't be tortured right now where you really want to go to sleep.
For real. Welcome. For real. And I'm thankful for you also for pushing me in this realm. Just pushing me this way, because this is, I'm like, whatever. But so it goes both ways. And that's most important. And to everyone out there, you got to understand this. Find something to be thankful for. Didn't say it has to be a perfect life. You have to be always happy. All this and so on and so forth. Find something to be thankful for. And then from there, if it's not where you want it to be, you sit there and say, in this moment, I'm thankful for this. But I'm also looking forward to where I can build off of this. But if you sit in the negative for too long, you literally will end up bypassing and not realizing what you really have in the moment. Live in the moment. You must live in the moment. It's hard sometimes, but live in the moment. That's not to negate Excuse me.
Ooh, you got a frog in your throat.
That's not to negate or minimize any other emotions that you may be going through. You must feel those emotions. You don't hide them. You don't tuck them away. You got to go through it to get, to go on the other side of it. But at the same time, I'm also thankful that I can feel these things. I may not want to, but I'm thankful that I can feel these things because I realize it won't be like this always. Monday will become Tuesday, and Tuesday will become Wednesday, regardless of what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, life goes on. Be thankful and keep going.
And, to piggyback on that, I'd say, to counter it, I should say. And if you're sitting in a bad emotion, as he said, feel it so you can get through it. But key word is get through it. Don't stay there forever. If you find yourself staying there too long, there's, TalkSpace? There's all kinds of online counseling that you can get because that could be depression. And if you think that you're in a depression, get help. Get somebody, talk to somebody.
Or if you think you got ADD, I'm just joking.
I mean, honestly, get help. Or send Jeff a message. And he can.
I'm not an expert in ADD, sorry.
No, let me tell you something. And we talked about it.
What?
I said I was going to bring it up on the podcast, and I'm going to do it now.
What?
Because I just remembered. So I had saw a thing on like TikTok or Instagram or something. I don't know. But it said a thing, and I've seen you do this. And I was like, I'm going to tell those people because you have done it. And I think that many adults with ADD will do this. They called it doom boxes, which sounds very terrible. And I don't think it's what it is. But I have seen you with boxes, like literally like copy printer boxes.
Okay.
And you will put different, like there could be mail and a cookie and 4 keys, a garage door opener, 2 pairs of socks, a sweatshirt, a shirt that you're taking back to the store, and a record from 1985.
Right. Okay.
And what they said is that people with ADD can often get overwhelmed by clutter.
Yep.
And so to handle the clutter, they put it in a box. And then you just see the box. Or you can stack the box and put the box away. But then they end up with all these boxes of random stuff. And the trick for somebody, and this is what they were saying, I don't know, but I told you this, you haven't done it, but I don't know, is to have your person, like, so, I mean, maybe you can do it yourself or get your friend if you're the ADD person.
Right.
I don't know. But they were talking like, it was a woman whose husband was it was a husband whose wife was ADD who had wrote the post. And he said he'd sit her on the couch and take one box to her and sit beside her and go through it. And they did that every day. He said for almost a year, there was that many boxes in their house.
Oh, jeez.
And it almost became like a fun thing. And then he had little baskets that went underneath their TV, and it was like mementos, photos, things like that they would really want to keep that was like sentimental. And then he would put everything else away for her. So like if it was trash, he'd put the trash away. Right. But if it was something like sentimental... Because apparently ADD people are very sentimental. Yeah. And they want ticket stubs and programs and...
Yep, true.
Every photo and...
Yep, that's accurate.
And he took all of those, though, and put like in the old... took pictures of them and got like an old-timey photo album and would put the old pictures in it. But then like of ticket stubs and stuff, he took pictures of it. And had it bound like in like one of those little Shutterfly books or whatever.
I do something like that.
I was like, that is so cute. So you can see the picture, but you don't have to hold on to the old ticket stub. But you can remember. But anyway, so to me, I thought that was impressive.
That's very impressive.
We've had a lot of people come up and said, holy cow, I think I have ADD.
I mean, it's so much of it is undiagnosed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what it was with me growing up. What you would hear. Very few people like had ADD, like to where they would say that you had ADD or whatever. And this is what the parents would say, what you would hear. They don't need ADD. They just need their parents to wear them out and teach them how to behave. Yeah, it's not that.
Sometimes.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, no, it ain't that.
Sometimes I boy need to be spot.
Well.
Focus.
Well, somebody needs to do that to me now.
Yeah.
Kristie, what were you doing? I don't know. I forgot. because now I'm a lister.
Right.
I think some of the ADD rubbed off on me.
I agree.
But, ouch. That was mean.
No, it wasn't. You the one said, listen to what you said.
I know what I said.
You the one said.
I know what I said.
You the one said, we rubbed on you. I agree, but you said it was me that I agreed with you?
Yes.
Or it was me that you said about yourself? Which one was it?
You should protect me.
From you?
Yes.
I tried. Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Look.
Okay, so, anyway, you guys, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Love your people. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. And if you can't, shoot us an email. Be thankful. And at least for like 5 things.
At least. That could be a lot.
No, I'm saying like make your goal. If you feel like you can't be thankful, make your goal to be at least.
Oh,
5
okay.
things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
y'all correcting me.
That's it, really?
Correct yourself in a corner.
Boom.
So, do you want, for those that want to know, yeah, it drops tomorrow, so they'll hear. If you're in the Orlando area, Jeff's first Candlelight show will be November 27th at 5? At 5. So, if you want to see him conduct, November 27th at 5. And I will be there, so I'll probably film stuff. And I might go on Instagram Live. Can you do that there? Would I get in trouble?
I have no idea.
I mean, ask for forgiveness, I guess.
No. Find out the rules. Find out the rules. I remember I earlier said protect you from yourself.
Daddy used to tell me, well, just try it out and see. You can always ask for forgiveness, but they won't always grant you permission.
For real.
This is why I am the way I am. I love you, Daddy.
What's your daddy's name?
David.
They don't know that.
I know. Well, I mean, they know my dad would be Daddy.
Oh, David.
If I said I love you, David, Daddy would be like, who?
David.
Who you talking about?
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. All right. Well, you all have a great week. We will talk to you next week and let you know how the week goes.
Yeah.
We're praying for you guys. Keep us in your prayers. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for listening to
Red and Green,
the podcast.